I quite like the Nami Burn E-2. Now, if I didn't have a scooter and I had to go back, Good morning, everyone. This is Ivan from the Ivan Rides YouTube channel. Welcome back. Today, as you can see, we are taking the Nami, but it's actually not my Nami. My Nami is in the shop at the moment, so our friends have been gracious enough to lend us a Nami Burn E-2. So today, we're going to be taking the Burn E-2 to work. And it's going to be a little different because we're going to kind of do a first impressions, what we think of it, how it stacks up to its bigger brother, the Nami Burn E-2 Max and the original Nami Burn E, and what we think of it as a commuter scooter. So we're going to do a little bit of all of that today. So you're probably wondering, what is the Nami Burn E-2? So the Nami Burn E-2 is the little brother to the Nami Burn E, first generation, which is the scooter that we have, and the Nami Burn E-2 Max, which is everything is cranked up to the next level. They created this to create a more affordable solution to the Burn E-2 Max and to give those who don't need the insane power something to ride. Now, if you made it this far, if you like this content, this style of content, please let me know in the comments down below. And please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Also, if you like this content and you like the stuff that I've been making, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of the family. So, you're probably wondering, Ivan, if it's the little brother to the Burn E-2 Burn E-2 Max and Burn E, it doesn't look that much smaller. And you're absolutely right. The dimensions are pretty much the same. The biggest differences are going to be in the power and the stopping power. So with the Burn E-2, you had dual 1,000-watt motors that peak at 50-40 watts. You have the dual sine wave controllers that are cranking out 30 amps. When you're accelerating, I believe it goes up to 40 amps. And the smaller battery, you have 28 amp hours instead of the 32 or 40 option that you get at the Burn E-2 Max and the Burn E. And the final thing is you have dual piston instead of 4-piston Logan brakes. Now, what does that all mean? That's all is fun and blah blah blah. It sounds real good. It sounds real smart. What that really means is this Nami will do 45 miles an hour and will take a little bit longer to stop. So from what I hear, the acceleration is still quite aggressive. So we're going to kind of, yeah, that is definitely a Nami. Yeah. So the acceleration with 100% motor, with the turbo on, is still quite aggressive in terms of, it's very much like all the other super scooters. Which is great because that's what you want. And this, you're getting that quickness off the line, which is very important when you're riding in the city, because it allows you to navigate all these sketchy situations one wheel without much of an issue. 45 is plenty to keep up with the traffic in the city. Now, if you need more power, of course, that's what the Burn E-2 Max or the first gens are for. But this off-the-line quickness is nice. Now, it's not as brutal as the Burn E or the 2. Actually, I haven't tried the Max, but as the Burn E. But it's still plenty quick for day-to-day situations. Holy Jesus, look at this traffic. It is so kind of cold today. You guys can see I finally got myself some semi-winter gloves, but still no heated gloves. Costco is doing a nice little sale there, so hands are still cold, but not as cold as before. Just a little side note. And this is the bridge where we can pretty much open it up. Yeah, it still burns out. Still pulls very hard. And just like that, we're already at 40 miles an hour with a strong headwind. I don't think we'll hit 45, but 42 miles an hour in the display is still really nice. It's more than enough power for, like I said, commuting through Manhattan. So our friend Bernie still has the stock CST nylons, which they're okay. I mean, they're stock tires. But first thing I would probably recommend doing would be upgrading to the PMTs. It'll be more comfortable, it'll be a smoother ride. Yeah, these tires are really stiff, but the suspension on the Nami works magic on these potholes in New York. We don't have the best roads, so anything you buy needs to have something reasonable as far as travel and suspension, and of course, that's what the Nami's known for, that buttery smooth ride. Now you're probably also wondering, why would it matter if I switch to the CST, Ivan? Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. If the suspension is buttery, adding the PSC tires, right? Adding the Stradales, PMT, the PMT tires, that's what they're called. Adding the PMT tires, it's like adding extra butter on your toast. It's like, it'll let that toast glide around freely on that griddle. You can tell I'm hungry. I'm pretty much starving still. Man. So the one-way commute, including all these inclines, is about 10 miles to Midtown Manhattan from our home. So it is getting cold outside. So battery life and performance is affected, just like all PEVs. So right now, if we were to go just by percentage We've lost about 11%, and we're about halfway through our commute, which is to be expected of the 28 amp hour battery and running it on X mode the whole time. But it's just good to note that round trip will probably use up a good, I'm assuming right now 30 to 40% of the battery, which is fantastic because that's still charging every 2 days for a 40-mile commute. And if you live in the city like I do, like this, you're not blasting through everything all the time. You're limited by traffic, you're limited by congestion, and you're limited by bike lane. So you'll have plenty of juice to get around. In my opinion, this Nami Burn E-2 is really fun. Since with the combination of the lower power output of the motors and the sine wave controllers that come on the Namis, I think this is a more comfortable daily commuter than my original Gen 1 Nami. But that's also coming from someone who doesn't always need the fastest. Now, is fast fun? Yes, it is. But from a practicality standpoint, I'm quite happy with how the Burn E-2 here is performing. I think it's great. It's quick, it's nimble, it's comfortable. I guess the only downside is the size. It's literally the same size as its bigger brothers or its bigger siblings, and it's only 1 pound off. Now, what would I do to change the Burn E-2 into a better commuter scooter? I would have liked it to be a little smaller. Now, PMT tires stock would be great. And the option to swap out the thumb throttle here, which is also, it's very responsive, but Now that I've gotten used to the Polish trigger throttle, it's hard to kind of go back to the thumb throttle here. It just the Polish throttle just allows you to feather the throttle a lot more. You feel more in control. But other than making it a little bit smaller, just to make it easier to kind of navigate stuff like this, I quite like the Nami Burn E-2. Now, if I didn't have a scooter and I had to go back, I would probably pick this up instead. Because I feel like all that power on the Burn E-2 Max and the first gen is wasted on someone like me. But, you know, once again, personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Now, we have arrived to the area where we work at. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it sounded really techy, really spec heavy for a little while there, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for accompanying me on this commute to work again. Now, if you liked that review-esque type of commentary from me, let me know in the comments below. A thumbs up is always welcome. And your subscription to the YouTube channel is also much appreciated. Now, it's time to say goodbye. Once again, we're probably not going to have a commute home video because it has gotten really dark here in New York City, so we're going to cut it off here. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next ride. Peace.